Alright, welcome back to another league race. This time we're with DNS, and this time we are in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix, as you can imagine. Uh, Interesting qualifying, to say the least. You can see the conditions are intermediate. The one thing I was really not wanting, but nevertheless, I felt pretty confident heading into this race, I must be honest. Had a good result with TMC not too long ago. It was my first podium in TMC, so and those are quick guys, quicker than pretty much, yeah, in the general field in TMC League One is quicker than the field in this division, obviously. But so for me to, to actually come third there, I know it was a bit acrimonious circumstances, but still felt fairly confident that I could get a good result here. But would have to start in qualifying. So with the race being dry, it was fairly easy to just decide to put on the dry setup and go from there. I decided to fill up the car for a good number of laps. I wanted to get a good number of runs in. I know tire wear can be high around Belgium, but I just find with the wet running, just the more laps you can do, the more reps you get. I just find that you're just going to get accustomed to the track quickly and the conditions. My first time was just short of provisional poles at 59 flash, and I kept going for. I did another run, and you can see the improvement of that is coming here. We're going to do a 58.3, so I was 7/10 quicker than a provisional pole. So I was pretty happy with that, but I couldn't improve after that, just with different, like not getting some corners right and the tyres going a bit. And so I was looking good for pole position, but Steve is going to break my heart, and he's going to take provisional pole by at least, what, is me 6/10. I can't see the writing on the screen, but anyways, he takes pole, and that puts me down in second. And I thought, okay, I can maybe get something out of this. You know, I'm starting second. I feel good around this place. I can choose my own tire, so I felt there were some good chances to be had in the race. It must be said. So, yeah. So let's see what we can do from there. Starting from second, I was actually really confident of getting a good inroads on the championship with Steve, which you're going to see here. Steve is only 50 points ahead of me, so I thought me starting second, feeling good for the win, him starting down the order a bit, I can maybe get some good points and kind of really put myself into this title hunt. But we're going to see how that goes in a sec. Beautiful weather, beautiful weather, and I'm doing the super soft and pit on lap 10 or so, and do the soft to the very end. So I'm putting a bit of fuel. So strategy set. I could see over in front of me that Steve was actually using the softs. So I was like, ooh, yes, here's a good opportunity to get a good start, good turn one, and then maybe we could get something going up the hill. But 5 red lights, away we go. Not the best start. I'm going to be under pressure from HYT coming down me inside, but that is going to be the least of my worries, as there's absolute carnage. I can tell you what happened. Shogun, who's just gone there, Mark in the Ferrari, just T-boned flipping HYT into turn one, who has hit into me. That has initially damaged my wing, and then I ended up flipping running into HYT, because where else am I supposed to go? And that damages my front wing. So already a horrific start. We get past Mercandies here for it to P5, but I am now straight away. It's a matter of damage limitation in many ways, because I had planned to run to lap 10 and go around the outside of Mark there. I had planned to go to lap 10 on these supers, but with wing damage, there is one part of the track that is just going to absolutely kill me, and it's this middle sector. Not specifically this corner, the no-name corner, but Puon. This next corner, this long left-hander. Like, to make the corner, I just have to like brake and lift, and you're gonna see how flipping far Show George in front of me pulls away. So yeah, so race is looking fairly bust at the moment. So but hold on to P3 for now. But I know Steve is going to be putting the pressure on me. He's got slight wing damage himself, but it's green, whereas I've got orange wing. So you're going to see kind of how quickly he's going to close up. Just how I have to take this corner, because otherwise I'm just understeering wide and not making the corner. So I'm in a very difficult situation. The leaders are getting away each lap, and yeah, I can already feel the win is gone, and a podium quickly slipping as well. And you're going to see here again, Puon, I've got to brake, I've got to shift down a lot, and run a bit wide, and then Stee is going to just breeze on by, and there's nothing I can really do to fight it. So disappointing, but not really much I can do, unfortunately, given my lack of downforce. So that is unfortunate. But the next man behind me is Carl. He'll be also putting the pressure on me as well soon enough. He's only about 2 seconds behind me, so he's going to be closing up that gap quickly. You can see you're fighting the oversteer or the understeer, and you can see the HUD is kind of messed up. It's because the lobby host left, and has unfortunately caused a glitched lobby. But you can kind of see the run. So actually, that's Carl behind me, not Steve. This is one thing that happens when the host leaves. A lot of cars are the same for people. So that was actually Carl behind me. Kept Carl behind me. Made a compromise strategy to go into lap 7 into the pits, and I've sped into the feckin' pit lane because I'm an idiot. I decided to pit lap 7 because on the ultra soft tire, if you're going, you can pit lap 6 and make the softs last to the end. And I decided to go far enough into this window where I could just change my wing, do the 1-stop, rather than pitch lap 1, do the 2-stop. But as a result of that, I've had to keep going, and I've lost a lot of time, and drive around 7 laps on a damaged wing. So, but at least the softs can go to the end, and so lap 9, you're going to see kind of the pace I kind of had in reserve on these softs. As I come across, I'm going to set the fastest lap of the race at this time with a 47.9 on soft. So, excuse me, that kind of just shows you kind of what might have been possible. And then this kind of really ruins, well, not really ruins my race, but Carl gets out in front after his pit stop. Of course, he did not have to change a wing. I did. That cost me 7 seconds. And I've made up a lot of it, but not enough. And unfortunately, I'm going to be there's nothing I can do behind Carl. My softs are older. I'm just trapped in the dirty air, and there's going to be nothing I'm going to be able to do for Carl the rest of the way forward. But he's trying to put a move on Zach, my teammate, not HYT, again, lobby glitch. So they're fighting for P4, which is, yeah, good points still there, and bit compromise run for Zach out of turn 1, bit of contact between him and Carl, and I'm just going to be able to zip up the inside there and get that move done before Eau Rouge. So, but again, I can't do anything with Carl. I'm running quite a bit of rear downforce. I think I'm running 1718 wing, and with the lobby glitch, I think Slipstream was just gone after this. After the lobby glitch when the host left. So, yeah, difficult one. But this also didn't help either. Lap 14, I'm just there behind Carl, and then in that gap, this is the actual Stee. Stee is going to pip in front between myself and Carl, and for flip's sake. So my mindset was, I've got to get this done now. This is my only chance to get by him. Otherwise, I'm done. I initially thought it was HYT because lobby glitch, McLaren. I thought so, but get kind of this no slipstream really. But DRS, I try and go up the inside. There's a bit of contact. He goes off the track, and I just kind of brush off the throttle a bit there, and yeah, just to kind of let him kind of stay through. Try again down the inside here, but nothing doing, and that's kind of like, I was like, great, that's really done my race in. Between that, obviously my my speeding in the pit lane offence, which is not going to be able to serve that penalty. And honestly, that was it. That was the race. Like, that was the rest of that race. Was Steve got by Carl, at least on my end. And again, I'm stuck in this window where I can't do anything on Carl. My tyres are getting worn. Just a disaster of a race. I was feeling really confident heading into this race, and with Steve on the super softs, I felt pretty good that perhaps I could take the lead and take the win. Bit of clear air. You could see kind of the pace I had in the clear air. That it was fairly strong. I believe only a set of super softs and ultra softs subsequently knocked that fastest lap off that I did on those softs. So very disappointing, all because of the carnage in turn 1, which forced me to not only lose my wing but lose positions in the process, and then forced me to come into the pits early, then trying to make up as much time as possible. I speed into the pits, get that penalty, and yeah, just a race that just wasn't destined to have a good one today. So unfortunate. And then with Stee also finishing ahead, Doesn't do anything for my championship either, and I've lost a second place as well to Steve because he finished second. So disastrous day. Around the track, I was feeling really confident of that. So Show George won the race in the end, so fair play to him for getting that win. He made that move late, made those ultras last, I believe, and yeah. It says P4, but my penalty was not applied across that line, so it's really P5 is what I'm picking up today. So yeah, but again, just very disappointing. I must be honest. I did think a really good result is there, starting from second. Yeah, like I've been over it. The steward to be looking into that. I'm fairly sure it was Mark, aka Shogun, the Ferrari, that just did literally use everyone else as a brake mark heading into turn one. There was some lag from Caesar that was making things difficult, but he's come from so far back and not made the corner. So yeah, disappointing, but there you go. That is the Belgian Grand Prix. Show George, Steve, Carl, myself, Caesar, Zach, Dave, with Mara Messi, and then Swanee to finish off the top 9 finishers there. So that is it for DNS round number 11. No, yes, 11. I believe it's round 11 or 12. Of DNS. So next up is Monza, a track I absolutely hate with all my life. So yay! Until next time.